Today's story is about Toby, the turtle's slow race. In a peaceful pond surrounded by tall green grasses and bright yellow flowers lived a small turtle named Toby. Toby was friendly, cheerful, and always had a gentle smile on his face. But there was one thing everyone knew about him: Toby was slow. He wasn't just slow when walking. He was slow at swimming, slow at eating, and even slow at talking sometimes. "Good morning," he'd say, stretching the word as wide as his grin. Most of the other pond animals liked Toby, but some couldn't resist teasing him. "Come on, Toby, try to keep up," laughed Ricky the rabbit, hopping quickly along the grass. "You'll never win a race at that speed," added Penny the parrot, fluttering her bright wings. Toby didn't mind much. He just smiled and said, maybe being slow isn't so bad. Still, deep inside, he sometimes wished he could be fast, just once, to show everyone that even slow turtles could do something special. One sunny morning, the animals of the pond gathered for an exciting announcement. Mr. Frog, the pond's mayor, stood proudly on a lily pad and called out, "Attention, everyone, we're having our annual pond race day tomorrow." All the animals cheered. There would be races for swimmers, hoppers, flyers, and even crawlers. Ricky the rabbit bounced high into the air. "I'm going to win again this year." "Not if I fly past you first," squawked Penny the parrot. Even the frogs began practicing their leaps, splashing happily in the water. Toby, who was nibbling on a piece of lettuce, looked up and smiled shyly. "Maybe I'll join too." All the animals turned to stare at him. "You," laughed Ricky. "Toby, you're too slow for a race." Penny giggled. "You might still be at the starting line when we're having the after party." Toby blushed, but his heart stayed calm. "Maybe, but I'll try," he said softly. Mr. Frog clapped his hands. "That's the spirit, Toby. Everyone deserves a chance to race." The next morning, the sun rose over the pond, turning the water golden. The race course was ready. It stretched from the old willow tree, around the big rock, and back to the lily pad bridge. All the animals lined up at the starting line. Ricky twitched his nose, Penny fluffed her feathers, and Toby took a deep breath. "On your marks, get set, go," shouted Mr. Frog, waving a big leaf. Off they went. Ricky zipped forward like a lightning bolt, Penny soared above them, and even the frogs leapt ahead in quick, splashy jumps. Toby started moving too, slowly and steadily, step, 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 his little feet pressing gently against the soft grass. Before long, he was far behind. But Toby didn't give up. He hummed a quiet tune to keep his spirits high. "Slow and steady gets me ready," he sang softly to himself. Meanwhile, the other racers were having troubles of their own. Ricky the rabbit was so confident that he decided to take a short nap under the shade of the willow tree. "I'm way ahead," he said, yawning. "A little rest won't hurt." Penny the parrot, who loved to show off, started flying in circles above the crowd. Look at me," she squawked, until she accidentally flew into a branch and had to stop to fix her ruffled feathers. The frogs got distracted by a swarm of dragonflies and began chasing them instead of following the path. While everyone else got busy with other things, Toby just kept moving, step, step, step. He passed the willow tree. He passed the big rock. The wind brushed against his shell, and the cheering of the smaller animals filled his ears. "Go, Toby, go," cried the ducklings. "Keep it up," shouted a snail, waving a tiny leaf flag. Toby smiled. He wasn't fast, but he was steady, and that made him proud. By the time Ricky woke up, the crowd was cheering loudly. "What's going on?" he muttered, rubbing his eyes. He looked up and gasped. Toby was only a few steps away from the finish line. "No way," shouted Ricky, hopping as fast as he could. Penny flapped her wings furiously, trying to catch up, but it was too late. With one last careful step, Toby crossed the finish line. The crowd burst into applause. Mr. Frog raised his voice, and the winner of this year's pond race is Toby the Turtle. Toby blinked, hardly believing his ears. He had done it. His slow and steady pace had led him to victory. Ricky and Penny arrived, panting. They looked embarrassed but quickly smiled. "You really did it, Toby," said Ricky, offering a paw. "Guess we were wrong about being slow." Penny nodded. "You were patient and you never gave up. That's even better than being fast." Toby smiled and said, "I didn't need to be fast, I just needed to keep going." That night, the pond was filled with laughter, music, and glowing fireflies. Toby's friends placed a shiny leaf crown on his head and sang songs in his honor. And from that day on, whenever anyone teased someone for being slow, they remembered Toby's race and how determination and patience can take you farther than speed ever could. The end. Today we learned that it doesn't matter how fast you go. What matters is that you keep moving forward. Toby the Turtle showed that patience, persistence, and believing in yourself are the true ways to win any race in life.